What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another weather forecast here by Agent Weather Forecast, and this is going to be a video here on the potential for an upcoming winter storm Viola, and it's going to bring in heavy snow and potential dangerous ice in the areas that just got affected by Uri. So we're looking at a back-to-back snowstorm for these areas across the Ohio Valley, South Central, and as well even all the way up to the Northeast. So we're talking a potential another major snowstorm that will develop mid this week here, and as well it can bring in even more snow towards the South Central, deep in the South, and as well even some very heavy snow across portions of the Ohio Valley, Great Lakes, and Northeast. But before we get in the video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate all the support by you guys. And as well, if you guys have any questions, be sure to drop them in the comments and I'll do my best to respond to them. But without further ado, let's get ahead in the forecast. So I'm going to be taking a look at the National Weather Service right now as what we have. So we actually still have, of course, millions of these warnings from Uri as it is continuing to bring in a wintry mess, and it's still not even close to being done right now. And as what we do actually have an enhanced risk for severe weather across portions of the Florida Panhandle and southwestern Georgia. Tornado watches are in effect across southern Georgia, southeastern Alabama, and much of north central Georgia, and a tornado is in effect there across portions of the western panhandle there near Panama City. But we are, of course, still watching the big wintry mess all the way from Maine to portions of Texas here, and it's exactly where you have those winter storm warnings. So if you're in a Payne County, that is a warning, and that's where you can possibly expect either dangerous ice or extremely heavy snow still left to come. And as well, we still have quite a few, actually a few million still on the northeastern coast, and as well off the Great Lakes, where we do actually have some scattered winter weather advisories, and that is where we can possibly see a few inches of snow between the next few days from Winter Storm Uri. And as well, not only that, but we actually have we have ice storm warnings now across portions of the Northeast, portions of the higher elevations outside in the Appalachian Mountains, and as well a few ice storm warnings there in northern Alabama and as well northeastern Mississippi. So we have three scattered areas there where we do have ice storm warnings because we can expect possibly over half an inch of ice in these scattered areas. And as well, we have special weather statements now across Georgia for potential black ice, and as well a few special weather statements for the extreme cold across the South Central. But this whole snowstorm here, Viola, which will develop most likely by Wednesday, is all possible because of this major Arctic blast and polar vortex. It's going to allow for that extremely cold air. We have these wind chill warnings down to Texas, which we have not gone in a while, in decades, and it's going to allow for more moisture to develop into a snowstorm. But let's go and see how that's going to play out here. So we, of course, have a low pressure, of course, more towards the south central, and there's the high pressure. This is exactly the source of this cold air. So this low pressure, it's moderately strong. It's at almost 1,030 millibars, and there you see this is kind of where we're seeing the coldest air, but it's going to bring that deep cold air down to the south central here, kind of bringing in a whole alley of just extremely cold air. So whatever really moisture we see developing in these areas with its extreme cold will most likely develop into all snow. So you're going to kind of see we're not going to be seeing too much rain with this snowstorm at first, because not only is this atmosphere in Oklahoma and Texas so dry, so it's going to kind of limit the amount of precipitation, but we're not going to be seeing too much rain because these temperatures are just going to be too cold, so everything's going to mainly be snow. So you don't see that too often, but as this low pressure does develop, and it does kind of develop off the Gulf Coast, we are going to start getting a lot more moisture. High pressure kind of moves a lot more towards the north, so we're going to start getting our moisture here as we will start to get these as this low pressure kind of moves more to the south. We'll get areas where are a lot warmer, like New Orleans, like Mississippi and Texas coast. Like those areas obviously be a lot warmer. So we're gonna start getting that rain to develop, and we could very well see a severe weather threat developing here by kind of Thursday morning, Thursday actually evening. Start seeing that very heavy snow, potential dangerous icy conditions. So we're seeing another system here for the south central and the deep south. Some dangerous icy conditions left to come for areas like Louisiana, there, southern Arkansas. Another storm for areas like Mississippi. And then it's going to get to a lot worse. So there's the high pressure now in the northeast, which is going to allow for this deep cold air to now make its way across the eastern coast here. So a lot of that rain will convert into snow. That's kind of start seeing that snow across the mid-Atlantic here. But obviously, we're still going to be seeing some very deep layers of cold across the south central. So we're going to start seeing that snow, of course, stretching from Texas all the way to areas like New Jersey. So it's going to be a really weird shaped snowstorm here, and they're going to be seeing those warmer temperatures, some heavy rain, potential severe weather towards the southeast. But seeing some snow all the way from Texas there, portions of Arkansas, Tennessee, but I'm going to be seeing the worst of the snow according to the GFS for the mid-Atlantic. So another storm for areas like Washington, D.C., more snow for areas like New York City, Dover, Charleston, West Virginia. And it's going to be a very large storm here. It's still going to be very significant here. So we're talking another deep southern snowstorm. Some more snow to go for Memphis, more snow for Arkansas, Louisiana, and it's going to be a coastal nor'easter here as you're going to start getting that cold air, and that low pressure will move up the coast here by Friday, and it's going to be a very long storm here. So we're talking a few days here, from anywhere from Wednesday all the way up to the weekend here. So this low pressure will start to make its way off the coast here, making it a nor'easter. And since the low pressure is going to be so far off the coast here, or so close to the coast, it's going to be kind of more of an upper northeast storm. But the thing is, as the low pressure is all the way down in Georgia, Alabama, and that high pressure is right there, that's going to allow for some snow to develop across the coastal the coastal northeast region here. So that snow in the northeast coast, like New York City, Hartford, Dover, that's all possible because of that high pressure. But as it moves out, this low pressure does make its way towards the actual coast. All that snow will kind of stay more towards the north. Like Uri is going to kind of keep that snow more towards the upper northeast, because that low pressure is way too close to the coast here. It's almost on New York City here. So heavy snow across portions of New York City there, Halifax and Nova Scotia. Heavy snow across the upper New England region by Friday morning. And then by Saturday, it's still going to start bringing some snow across New England here. Some decent snow showers across Maine, making its way now into eastern Canada. And it's going to be all over really by Sunday. However, we will start to see some lake effect snow as we will continue to see some very, very cold air across this region there. But here's now a look at the European. They show kind of a different scenario here. They don't show as significant as the GFS does have it. But there you see the high pressure right there at 1,028 millibars, bringing all that cold air. So it'll start as all snow, no rain to begin with, just heavy snow across portions of Oklahoma and the south central, including the Ozarks. But then as we get that low pressure kind of making its way towards the Gulf Coast, it's going to start bringing a lot more moisture here, especially as the high pressure does start to move north. So you kind of see that snow way up to the areas like Chicago and the Great Lakes, but a very heavy ice mix here across the south central in areas like Alexandria, Beaumont, Texarkana, making its way as well into areas like Jackson, Mississippi. So another big southern snowstorm. But you can kind of still see that weird shaped storm here. You can kind of see that snow stretching from New York City all the way to Texas. Will be a lot lighter snow, not like the GFS has, but some lighter snow across areas like the Mississippi River Basin there in Tennessee, portion of Mississippi, Louisiana out there, as well into areas like the Evansville and Paducah region. But the heaviest precipitation will kind of make its way towards the northeast here. Very heavy mixed ice threat across portions of Virginia, and very heavy snow more towards the north here in areas like the northeast, like Philadelphia, New York City there, New Jersey. And then as we now get that low pressure starting to make its way off the coast, a lot of that snow will make its way more towards the north, and that rain will make its way more to the north as well. So a lot of that ice mix will develop into rain after. You can kind of see that starting to develop into rain. So that rain will wash out a lot of that snow that fell previously, because we will get some decent snow for New York City there, for areas as well in coastal New England, like Boston can get some very good snow. But then that rain will kind of make its way towards those areas here. But New York City will still get some snow. So the European kind of keeps this low pressure a lot further off the coast, which leads to some more snow for these areas. You can kind of see the low pressure is right here, but the GFS takes it right here. So that makes a very big difference here. So if the European occurs, New York City will get a lot more snow than the GFS. We're going to see some very heavy snow no matter what across the upper Great Lakes there, Lake Erie, Lake Huron, and as well in the portions of the New England region. Going to definitely get some very, very good snow by late this week here. As you now take a look at the NAM 3 kilometer, you can kind of see the next 30-ish hours. You can kind of see that snow developing across portions of across the south central, and then it's going to start making its way towards the Ozarks here. Some very heavy snow now by Wednesday. across Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Missouri, but going to start seeing some freezing rain starting to develop across portions of Texas as that moisture kind of does become quite cold. So that's going to allow for a second little part to develop there. Extremely dangerous ice across portions of northeastern Texas, and especially the very heavy snow right there into areas like Oklahoma, Arkansas, Texas, and it's soon going to make its way into Louisiana. Right there, and start making its way into Louisiana. So a dangerous mix that develop because of how cold that air is going to be. It's going to be really cold. So any showers that develop, rain showers, thunderstorms, will surprisingly turn to either sleet, or if you go more to the north, very heavy snow across portions of Arkansas, more to the north in Missouri, and as well to Oklahoma. So we're talking potential another large, significant south central system to make its way obviously to Tennessee, making its way all the way up as well to the Ohio Valley. But here's now a look at this general storm, what it's supposed to do here. As you see it, there it is. It's going to obviously have a little first wave. It's kind of going to be the little first wave, but as we have the main low pressure making its way with that cold air, a lot of that rain that develops towards the coast will start to develop into freezing rain and as well into snow. So this is going to be the main system. That second part right there is going to be this right here. It's going to be the main system here. That's going to make its way very soon to the mid-Atlantic as that low pressure does kind of tracks off like this here. It's going to start making its way off the coast here, bringing some very nice snow across these areas here. But we're talking extremely heavy snow for St. Louis, very heavy snow for areas like Mount Vernon, southern Illinois, almost the exact areas that got affected by Erie, but a bit more to the north. So Mississippi, northern Arkansas, Mississippi, northern Louisiana, and western Tennessee won't get affected as much. It's kind of be limited towards the Mississippi River Basin and Ohio River Basin, but more towards the north there. So it's still going to be affecting very similar areas and compared to what we're seeing here right now with Erie. So we're talking more and more snow to come, for example, Memphis, Paducah, Louisville, Cincinnati, some more snow for Indianapolis, more snow for Columbus. So we're missing a lot of snow on the ground, and that's basically what's going to happen here. But this is what the HRR has for us in the next few hours here. We're talking a ton of snow to come down. So this is what we have additionally left. This is what we have for Viola. This is actually has nothing to do with Erie. So we're actually looking at very high snowfall totals actually for areas like southern Oklahoma, far northern Texas, and as well much of Arkansas. This could be another big storm for Little Rock, another big storm here for these areas outside the Ozarks here. So we're talking possibly near a foot of snow according to the HRR for far southern Oklahoma there, far western Arkansas, and as well far northern Texas here. Could bring an additional 1 to 3 inches there for Dallas. Could bring in some decent snow across Louisiana, but it's going to, obviously, like I did say, it's going to kind of be more to the north because Erie obviously brought snow for all these areas here. I mean, almost all of these areas basically. But, this is going to kind of be limited more towards these areas. So it's going to be kind of a lot more to the north. So this is obviously Erie, and this is Viola. It's going to kind of stay a lot more to the north. However, it's still going to affect some similar areas like Little Rock, Memphis, just not as severe, but maybe an additional 3 to 4 inches there for Memphis for this system. But obviously, we're going to have to keep in mind that this stops midway, so we can get a lot higher totals. But the bullseye is definitely looking like another south central system here, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Texas, and as well making its way into Missouri, as well another big storm for areas like Kentucky. So this is what we have. This is actually what we have left to go for Erie. So I'm showing you guys this because this is what it looks like after Viola. So it's kind of half of the snow that we have after Viola is all mainly from Erie. So this is what we have by Erie. So obviously to keep this in mind right here, like 6-7 inches there, 9 inches of course off the Great Lakes, but you got to look at the difference here. So areas could get a few additional inches here. So we're going to possibly look at areas like St. Louis can get around 4 to 5 inches there from Erie, but going to get maybe 5 to 6 inches there from after Viola. So we're talking only around 1 to 2 inches there from Viola in general. But really watching these areas off the Great Lakes here. So you can kind of see 16 inches there for Cleveland, 14 inches there for Ohio, up to 14 inches there off the Lake Huron. But you can kind of see that's mainly from Uri, because we're getting up to 8 to 10 inches there from Uri. So only getting maybe 4 to 6 inches there from actually Viola across these Great Lake regions here. However, it's a different case for areas like Oklahoma and Texas. They're already done, so you can see they're done, or they're kind of, you can kind of see they're done. Texas and Oklahoma, they're done with Uri. So whatever numbers they have here is actually going to be from Viola. So 3 to 4 inches there for Dallas, possibly up to maybe 10 inches in southern Arkansas. You can kind of see you kind of have 5 inches there for Little Rock right now. So maybe additional 5 inches. So it's kind of really hard to tell right now, but really watching as well the Mid Atlantic coast here. So these areas, this is from Uri. So mainly these areas are gonna get all their snow from Viola. You see they're getting nothing from Uri, but look at Viola getting possibly 5 to 6 inches there from Viola, maybe 7 inches, maybe 7 to 8 inches across the New England coast from Viola, and can get some very good snow from Viola across the Mid Atlantic. You can see nothing for the Mid Atlantic, nothing for West Virginia, nothing for Maryland, nothing for Pennsylvania, but Viola bringing completely different case here. Possibly 10 inches near Northern Virginia, 10 inches there across West Virginia. Very good snow across the Mid Atlantic. So it's going to be kind of, I guess, based on the total differences, more severe for the Mid Atlantic than anywhere else. So here's the GFS, what they have for left to go from Uri. You can kind of see the same case here, but this is after Viola. So we're actually seeing a big, severe storm based on Viola, based on the differences. And you kind of see Viola is going to be a lot more severe based on the total differences between this and then this is kind of what left to go. So you can kind of see, look at Oklahoma City. These areas, obviously Texas, Oklahoma, these areas are obviously kind of done with Uri. But if we look here, they're possibly going to get a lot more snow. So we may actually see a foot or so additionally for Memphis, for Kentucky, and as well possibly see an additional foot or so for these areas. You can kind of, or I guess for the Great Lakes, you can kind of see that's possibly near 2 feet. And you can see we're getting less than a foot from Uri. So it looks like it's going to be a massive storm for the Northeast. I'm not talking about Viola. Same thing for the northeastern coast. You can kind of see possibly 8 to 12 inches across the northeast coast. Nothing from Uri. So all this snow labeled right here or let me do this again. All the snow labeled here is going to be from Uri. So it's going to be from Viola. So we are already looking at a big northeast storm plus the Ohio Valley plus what's going to do to South Central. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later tomorrow.